This was by far going to be the most risky part of the entire operation. Well, this isn't the first time that I've done this. Once I hollow out the entire pit, I can basically place signs in sand that cover it up. But until then, if anyone stumbles across this random hole in the desert, it's gonna raise a lot of questions. I didn't really have much of a choice though, but to spend the entire day clearing out this huge area. And by the time night fell, I had a pretty good portion of it removed. So I decided to show my progress to one of my friends.
Yeah, be a populated sand village though. What? Oh.
So in 2 days, this is all gonna be void.
No shot.
Then Bacon said something that I hadn't really thought about yet.
This is gonna take a while. Do you know how long it took Miles to break all that bedrock, man?
Well, I'm gonna be using a bedrock auto breaker.
Yeah, he was using a bedrock auto breaker.
How long did that take?
Yeah, I would look it up right now actually to see what you're getting yourself into.
And actually thinking about it, I realized that I'd severely underestimated how big of a project this actually was. There were 30,000 pieces of bedrock that I'd have to remove, and even if it only took 1 second to remove each piece of bedrock, that'd still be nearly 10 hours of just breaking. That's if it took 1 second. Imagine if it took 10 times that. There goes an entire 2 weeks of my life. But I was still convinced that I could figure out some way to do this incredibly efficiently, so I kept pushing forward. The next day was dedicated completely towards clearing out the rest of the pit. Oh my god, dude, huge water cave, bro. It was 8 straight hours of grueling work, and it was 5 p.m. by the time I finally wrapped up. This was the part that I needed to get done as quickly as possible. I actually wasn't that far from the server spawn, and I was lucky enough that nobody had stumbled across this project yet. But I still would have to cover this entire pit up, and I knew that I had a long night of placing signs ahead of me. So I headed to the nearest forest and began tearing down trees. After about an hour of doing so, I noticed that a couple of people were talking in a Discord call, one of them being Planet Lord. Yo.
My name is Parrot, and I'm AFK all day.
What?
Parrot, what are you AFKing?
That's a secret, bruh.
But it is
What's
a
it
way
about?
to kill ClownPierce, right?
Sure, bro.
Well, I know you want to kill Planet Lord, and you also want to do something with PMC.
Wait, you want to kill me? What did I do to you? What did I ever do to you?
I thought that my cover had been completely blown. Well, my beef with Planet Lord is settled after
Okay.
I got my chest.
Oh, really?
back.
Oh, I can change that.
I eventually managed to steer away from the conversation, but I was beginning to worry that people were catching on to me, and potentially even searching for this trap. I needed to cover up the hole as soon as possible, and I still only had 4,000 of the 11,000 needed signs. So